I was wondering how Wikipedia decides which articles they want to feature on their main page. So I did some intensive research by clicking on the About button and found out that these articles are actually all a special type of article in Wikipedia called a featured article. And these are just articles that editors have worked together to make really good, and then other editors have double-checked to say that, yes, this is indeed a really good article. But that begs the question, how do you decide which featured article gets featured on the main page? And from the sounds of it, that all gets managed on this page where editors can come in and request that a featured article get nominated for the main page. And they just want to write up a little summary blurb that will appear on the main page, and they have to justify either that this article has never appeared before or it's been a number of years. And often an editor will choose a specific date because that was the birthday of the person they've nominated, or this was the anniversary of some historic event. And so now I'm scrolling through some of the recent nominations, and it looks like an article about a rabbit was nominated because it was a recently upgraded article, so they wanted to highlight the new edition. And dualism has been nominated because that was also recently upgraded. And I find this article on a Russian battleship kind of funny because the reason for nominating it is that there are so many featured ship articles that they just need to start showing them on the main page. Otherwise, they'll just have only ship articles to show off pretty soon. And maybe that's just because these ship articles aren't changing very much, because I'm looking at this nomination for Madonna's page, and her article sounds like has been promoted up to a featured article several times, but presumably it's also been demoted over time. And they say that she's never been featured on the main page, even though she's had this featured article for so long. And so these editors are trying to make sure that she gets featured on the main page before presumably the article drops away from a featured status. So it was kind of fun to read through these requests, and I'm sure there's a lot of drama that happens behind the scenes here. I thought it was interesting that these requests don't automatically mean, even if they get support, that a featured article will make it to the main page, because instead there's 3 coordinators who decide what gets through, and they fill up the days where nobody has requested that an article goes in. And so, wow, it's kind of crazy that 3 different people who are likely volunteer contributors to the encyclopedia get to decide what millions of people are seeing when they open up Wikipedia. And it's cool to see how much of the site is run like that behind the scenes, stuff that you would just never know by looking at how it works on the face of it. I've been editing for a few years, and I haven't done anything with this level of impact, although I did once nominate an article for the main page, and it was really cool to see it in the Did You Know section, and suddenly see a lot of people who never would have come across this article anyways be able to see it when it was first created. And I found it pretty inspiring that I could volunteer at something and suddenly have my work shared with so many people, and it's very cool to me that all of Wikipedia is run by that, just on the efforts of so many caring volunteers. And it is a complicated place. So I'd like to keep breaking down Wikipedia and answering the questions I have, and hopefully answering some of your questions. And especially if you're wondering about how you can get involved as a volunteer here or what you could do to make the place better, I would love to help answer those questions. So thank you, and good luck editing.